Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Saturday, August 2nd was the first padded mock game scheduled internal squad scrimmage between the first team defense and the first team offense of the Las Vegas Raiders. We've got so much to talk about. We've got video to watch of Dante Thornton, Max Crosby, Geno Smith, Brock Bowers. We've got a detailed description of everything that happened at that mock game, which is what they're calling it. The vibes are through the roof because the offense looks better than we even could have thought, and it is because of the emergence of Dante, of Ashton, of Michael Mayer, of Geno and Brock, seemingly on the same page like this, peanut butter and jelly. We're going to talk about all that. I implore you to hit that subscribe button because we're trying to get to 14,000 before the new league year starts, and I didn't think that was possible, but I have to bring up some channel analytics. Since I've been asking you and since we've been trying to hit that goal, an astonishing 334% of you, a 507% increase of people have subscribed. I didn't think it was possible to reach 14,000 before the new league year, but you guys are driving us home, pushing us tush-push style over the goal line, and I couldn't be thrilled more. That doesn't make any sense. Couldn't be more thrilled about it. If you're not yet subscribed, get us to 15,000. Let's talk a little Dante Thornton. We're going to watch a couple clips here, and then we're going to get into the reports because, gosh, does the offense sound like it's really firing on all cylinders. So we got Dante lined up at the right side here. Nick Walters, shout out to you for providing this. May have found a fourth-round gem like they did with Max Crosby. Geno connects with Cam Standout. Dante Thornton on a free play in the team's mock draft. Look at that. Zip from Geno Smith. Dante's wide open in the end zone. Again, could not be happier. Ashton's first action. 6th overall pick, ran hard, showed off his hands at the team's mock game, often running routes out of the backfield, even lining up at wide receiver along the line of scrimmage. Obviously, they're not going to hit so hard. Michael Mayer had a huge day. He's been praised left and right throughout camp, saying he's had a great offseason. The second-round pick showed why with a pair of catch early in this team's mock. Again, Geno just winging it. That's not a crazy open window. We got a little sound here. There's another play made by Michael Mayer. I mean, we love to see it. Brock Bowers and Geno Smith already in sync. This is a touchdown. Back shoulder. Couldn't play that any better if you're the defender. But, I mean, Brock and Geno look like they're already in sync. Tom Brady in the silver and black. I love it. I love everything about it. I love that he's completely embracing it. Pete Carroll throws out a challenge flag. I mean, you couldn't be happier with what you're seeing here. There's a couple more plays. I know there was a deep bomb to Philip Dorsett. I don't know if that's on this in particular. But, again, you just couldn't be happier. Oh, here's another play from Aiden O'Connell to Philip Dorsett. Not so bad. And then is the other bomb in this? I don't think so. But there was another bomb. So, look. Obviously, you take all this with a grain of salt. They're not hitting, but all signs are pointing upward and onward for Dante Thornton to be a standout. I didn't see many Jack Besh highlights. Now, look, I'm not concerned with Jack because, to be honest with you, Dante looks like a star, looks like an immediate impact player for the Las Vegas Raiders, and I couldn't be happier. And Geno looks absolutely outstanding. And I think Vinny talked about that. Vinny Bonsignor, who in my opinion is my favorite Raiders beat reporter. Raiders observations from mock game first week in pads. This is someone that's inside in the building watching every single thing. He's not afraid to share his opinion, positive or negative, about the team. And he starts out by saying, the Raiders ended their work week with a mock game at Allegiant Stadium in front of an estimated 18,000 fans on Saturday. Pete Carroll wanted to simulate as close to game day environment as possible for his new team. That day included a pregame warm-up, halftime, and 3 quarters of play. Interesting. Among the highlights were the big day by quarterback Geno Smith, Raiders minority owner Tom Brady watching along the sideline. The low light was a serious lower right leg injury suffered by safety Lonnie Johnson, not great, which Carroll described as significant. Here are some of the observations from the first week of pads and their mock game. The Raiders' new quarterback came to life this past week. It wasn't as if he was playing poorly before, but it was obvious he was still digesting and adapting to the new offense under Chip Kelly and an entirely new supporting cast. By the time the pads came on Monday, Smith started rolling and eventually stacked 4 solid practices together. He capped it all off Saturday by directing touchdown drives on all 4 of his possessions in the mock game. Smith completed 6 of his first 8 passes on the opening drive, including a 6-yard scoring throw to Brock Bowers. He went 3 for 3 on the second drive, completing 2 long passes to tight end Michael Mayer and an 11-yard touchdown to Bowers again. Yes, it was against the Raiders' second-team defense. In other words, he didn't have to deal with defensive end Max Crosby, but Smith looked crisp and dynamic throughout camp, regardless of who he's lining up against. Also worth noting, there were 3 red zone touchdowns he converted in the first half. Smith struggled in that situation last year in Seattle, where the Seahawks averaged 4.65 points per red zone appearance. That ranked 22nd in the NFL. Smith contributed to that by throwing a league-high 4 red zone interceptions. His 3 for 3 effort on red zone touchdowns Saturday represented a step in the right direction. Smith wrapped up his day with a 50-yard touchdown pass to Philip Dorsett and then converted the 2-point conversion on an RPO in which he faked the counter handoff to the running back to the left and ran it into the end zone. I love that there's design runs. Plenty of offensive actually, let's talk about that before we get into the rest here. This offense that Chip Kelly is implementing, I don't know where I read this. I think somebody tweeted it to Vinny, and he was like, preach, something like that. Somebody said, the more I see from the Raiders in this offseason, the more film I watch, the more excited I am about the Chip Kelly offense. And he has clearly been able to take everything that we have, Brock, Michael, Ashton, Raheem Mostert, Jack, Dante, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, and he's been able to mold this offense around the strengths of Geno Smith, which is attacking deep and then the underneath routes to Brock and Ashton, being able to pound the rock. This offense feels like it's going to be highly explosive, adaptable, and sneak up on people, which is the biggest reason why maybe we can win more than that 9 games that I was predicting in the beginning. In his first 2 drives Saturday, Smith threw the ball to 6 different targets and completed passes to 5 of them. Trey Tucker, Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers, Ashton Jeanty all got passes from Smith, with Mayer picking up 3 first downs on his catches and hooking up on 2 completions of more than 15 yards. Smith's missed 2 throws to rookie Dante Torrent, one which he overthrew on a long ball, the other where quarterback DeCam had a nice pass breakup on an end zone throw. Smith and Thornton eventually hooked up a 19-yard touchdown pass to end the first half. It continued Thornton's big training camp. Let's freaking go. Thornton and Jeanty are 2 newcomers to the group of weapons. Eventually, they will be joined by rookie wide receiver Jack Bech. Their additions, coupled with the influence of Kelly and Smith, have changed the dynamic of the Raiders' offense. Kelly's expertise in getting all his weapons involved, coupled with Smith's accuracy, significantly raises the floor of a Raiders offense that averaged just 18.2 points per game last year, which ranked 29th in the NFL. Offensive line rotation continues. It's becoming clearer by the day that Jordan Meredith is taking control of the starting center position. All right, interesting. He lined up at the spot for the 4th straight practice. Meanwhile, JPJ has begun today as the first team's right guard. However, he was replaced by Alex Kappa on the 2nd series and alternated as the first team right guard during the game. With Jackson Powers Johnson no longer in the center rotation, it appears Meredith is closing in on winning the job if he hasn't already. It's very interesting. Okay. Look, I've got no problem with that. Some people are like, oh my God, JPJ, what's wrong with him? Look, if Meredith beat him out, then he beat him out. But if JPJ's a top 5 offensive lineman on this team, he's going to play. I just think that, I don't know, man. I'm starting to really buy into what this team is selling. Like last year, you had to kind of convince yourself of things. You had to say, what if Aiden takes the next step? Okay, Aiden takes the next step. What if the defense, instead of it being top 10, what if it's top 5? What if Zamir White is as good as advertised and he's better than Josh Jacobs? What if Antonio Pierce is the next John Madden? Blah, 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 blah. At a certain point, you convince yourself of too many things, and none of them happen. You don't have to convince yourself of anything with this team. You know how dynamic Brock Bowers is. You know how athletic and game-changing Ashton Genty is going to be. You know the potential of a Dante Thornton. You know how good Max Crosby already is. And I think the key to this season is going to be, can the team capitalize on the momentum that has been built in the offseason? Because if you look at this right here, this is another video from our boy Nick. He says, awesome turnout. $5 and all proceeds going to the Raider Foundation. To have them so enthusiastic, they are a part of this day. Hopefully we give more love more back. When this place is crazy filled up, I can't even imagine. And we don't have to play the audio, but like, these fans are filling up the stadium, man. I just think that like there's a turning point here, and you can see it. You can see it, man. Jamal Adams signing, right? Pete Carroll talking after. Dino took them all the way down the field when he needed to. Raider Nation was a part of the day. Ashton has answered all the calls. There's another Brock Bowers behind the back, or back shoulder. I'm just excited, man. Like what more can you ask for? And Tom Brady being there, he's partly why this team is shaping up. And you see pictures like this, and you just couldn't be happier. You just couldn't be happier. Does that look like a guy who's upset, or does that look like a guy who's ready to freaking ball? I'm ready to run through a wall. This season needs to start right now. And I need you guys filling up the comments. What do we think about this mock practice that happened this Saturday? The Lonnie Johnson injury, that's not great, obviously. And you don't want anyone to get hurt, but it wasn't someone that was going to play a ton of snaps, right? So, I don't want to downplay the injury, but it wasn't like Brock Bowers got hurt, if you know what I mean. I don't mean to be that guy, but sometimes we have to talk about things like this. Tom Brady reportedly impressed with Las Vegas Raiders rookie wide receiver. Tom Brady attended the team's training camp practice on Friday. This is before the mock game, and was reportedly impressed with rookie wide receiver. According to Nick Walters, there you go. There's our guy. Brady had a long conversation with the rookie at Raiders practice, and the Hall of Fame quarterback is impressed with the fourth-round receiver. We couldn't shoot all of Brady's interaction at the Raiders camp, but a longer conversation I saw him was with Dante Thornton. Brady looked eye-to-eye with the 6'5" rookie, and he likes what he sees. This season needs to start right now. It needs to start right now. And by the way, shout out to all my $5 and $10 patrons. If you want your name at the end of the credits, exclusive content, ad-free content, your videos days in advance. Like this one's going to be uploaded the night before it goes live on YouTube. Link is in the description below to my Patreon. There's also the pinned comment. Also join my Discord. That is linked in the description below and is also part of the pinned comment with my Patreon link. If you like what you see here, please be sure to subscribe. It's free, out for no charge to you. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.